All right, deep divers. Today we're shining a light, quite literally, on a topic that's sparked a lot of buzz. Low-level light therapy.
Or LLLT, yeah. Sometimes called photobiomodulation.
Right, photobiomodulation. Specifically for hair loss. And we're really zeroing in on androgenetic alopecia, or AGA.
Which is incredibly common. Affects, what, over half of men by 50?
Exactly, and maybe even 80% of women by 80. It's huge.
Massive numbers.
And, the usual treatments like Minoxidil, Finasteride, they have downsides, right? Limitations, side effects.
Oh, absolutely. Which creates this real need, this demand for alternatives.
So LLLT pops up, actually way back in the 60s, kind of by accident.
Yeah, serendipitously is the word often used.
And now, it's a massive industry. Multi-million-dollar, loads of at-home devices everywhere you look.
You really can't miss them.
So the big question we're tackling today is this a genuine game changer based on solid science, or is it more of a clever gimmick fueled by marketing?
That's what we need to unpack. Follow the science, look at the real evidence.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So how does this light thing actually work on hair follicles? It's not heat, you said.
No, not at all. That's a key point. It's a photochemical process.
Right.
We're talking low energy light, red to near infrared.
Okay.
And it targets the mitochondria inside the hair follicle cells. Think of them as the cell's tiny power plants.
Got it. Power plants.
And within those, it interacts with a specific enzyme, cytochrome C oxidase, or COX.
COX.
What it seems to do is break a bond, an inhibitory bond, between nitric oxide, that's NO, and this COX enzyme.
So it removes a block, basically.
Precisely. It uncorks the system.
Yeah.
And that boosts ATP production.
This sells energy money.
Exactly, the energy currency. This sort of starts a whole cascade of events downstream. Leading to waking up those dormant hair follicle stem cells. It kind of pushes them, encourages them to proliferate, to differentiate. We sometimes call it metabolic eviction.
Metabolic eviction sounds intense.
Well, it's like it helps the cell clear out inhibitory signals, making space for, renewed activity and growth.
Huh. But if light is so powerful, does that mean more is always better? Just blast it.
No, definitely not. And this is crucial with LLLT. It follows what's called a biphasic dose response.
Biphasic, meaning two phases.
Exactly. Too little light does nothing. But perhaps counterintuitively, too much light can actually be inhibitory. It can slow things down or even cause damage.
Wow. Okay. So there's a sweet spot.
Absolutely. The precise dose, the right amount of light energy delivered over the right time is absolutely critical for it to work effectively. You have to hit that therapeutic window.
That's a serious Goldilocks problem. And not too little, not too much, but just right. So consistency and following instructions must be key.
Spot on. Adherence to the protocol is vital to stay in that effective zone.
Okay, the science is fascinating, activating biology in this targeted way. But does it actually work on real people? What do the clinical trials show?
Right, the proof is in the pudding. And actually, multiple systematic reviews and meta-analyses, so studies pooling data from many trials, consistently report a statistically significant increase in hair density.
For both men and women with AGA.
Yes, for both. They often report something called the standardized mean difference, or SMD, typically between 1.27 and 1.316.
Which sounds technical. What does that mean practically?
Well, generally, an SMD above 0.8 is considered a large effect size, so those numbers suggest a real measurable difference on average.
Okay, a measurable difference.
And some individual trials, randomized controlled trials, have shown quite striking increases, like 35% to even 51% more hairs counted in the treated areas.
35 to 51%. That sounds pretty good.
It does sound good, statistically speaking. However, and this is a really important however, we have to talk about the limitations. A lot of this research is funded by the device manufacturers, which, can introduce potential bias. We need to be aware of that.
Right. The funding source always matters.
And maybe even more importantly, for the person considering this, there's what we could call a perception gap.
Perception gap.
Yeah. Just because a study shows a statistically significant increase in hair count doesn't automatically mean you, the individual user, will look in the mirror and see a dramatic, cosmetically satisfying change.
I see. The numbers might change, but maybe not enough for you to feel it made a huge visible difference.
Exactly. It's that gap between the clinical data points and your own personal, subjective satisfaction. Managing expectations there is crucial.
That perception gap is a really vital point. So if someone is still interested, factoring that in, What should they look for in a device? There's so many options.
There are. Broadly, you've got the hands-free helmets or caps. Very convenient, cover the whole scalp. They tend to run, say, $500 up to maybe $3,000.
Okay, quite an investment.
Definitely. Then you have the handheld combs, more affordable, maybe $200 to $600, but they require you to be really diligent, combing through your hair methodically for the prescribed time.
Does one type work better?
Interestingly, the meta-analyses suggest that if used properly and diligently, both types can achieve similar efficacy. Compliance is key with the combs.
Makes sense. What about the tech inside? Lasers, LEDs. Does it matter?
It seems to. Current meta-analytic evidence actually points towards devices using exclusively laser diodes, or LDs, being potentially more effective than those that mix lasers and LEDs.
Only lasers?
Okay.
Any specific details?
Yeah, look for wavelengths in the red light spectrum, usually around 650 to 660 nanometers. And generally, a higher number of diodes is considered better for coverage caps, often boast 272, 312, or even more.
Good specs to keep in mind. And what about FDA status? I see FDA cleared a lot.
Right, and that's a critical distinction. FDA cleared means the device has been shown to be substantially equivalent in safety and function to another legally marketed device. It's not the same as FDA approved.
Which is what drugs go through.
Exactly. FDA approval requires rigorous clinical trials proving efficacy for a specific condition. Clearance is more about safety and equivalence. It doesn't guarantee it will work for you, just that it's considered safe when used as directed and similar to existing devices.
That's a really important difference not everyone might catch. So where does LLLT fit in the grand scheme of hair loss treatments? What's its unique selling point?
I think its most significant, maybe game-changing feature is its exceptional safety profile.
Really? Compared to the medications?
Absolutely. Side effects are minimal and usually transient, maybe some mild scalp itching or temporary shedding initially for a very small number of people. That's it for most.
Oh.
Compare that to minoxidil, which can cause scalp irritation, unwanted facial hair, or finasteride, with its potential, though rare, for sexual side effects and the fact it's a big no-no for women who are or might become pregnant.
Right. Those are definitely concerns for some people.
So LLLT becomes a really compelling option for people who can't or just don't want to use those medications. It offers a non-drug approach with very low risks.
That safety aspect is definitely a strong plus. Okay, so crunch time. We've looked at the science, the evidence, the tech, the safety. What's the final verdict for our listeners? Is LLLT a gimmick or a game changer?
Well, based on the evidence, it's definitely not a gimmick. The science is there. The statistical significance in trials is consistent.
There's always a but.
But it's also not some universal miracle cure that works dramatically for everyone. I think the best way to classify it is maybe a conditional game changer.
Conditional on what?
Conditional on the user. Or perhaps a valuable adjunctive tool. The ideal candidate probably has early to moderate hair loss, not advanced. They must have realistic expectations, remembering that perception gap.
Right, managing expectations is key.
And they need the commitment, both financially for the device and personally for the consistency. We're talking using it several times a week, often for 6 to 12 months before seeing noticeable results.
And then you have to keep using it.
Pretty much, yes. Like other AGA treatments, it's likely a lifelong commitment to maintain any benefits, stop the treatment, and the hair loss will likely resume its course.
Okay, so commitment is huge.
Absolutely.
So the takeaway message seems to be, definitely talk to a board-certified dermatologist first. Get the right diagnosis. Discuss all your options.
That's the first step.
And if LLLT seems like a good fit for you, then prioritize getting a quality FDA-cleared device. Look for those laser diode specs we mentioned, and be prepared to stick with the treatment plan religiously.
That sums it up perfectly. Consistency and patience are paramount.
All right, so here's a final thought for you to consider as we wrap up. When you think about investing in one of these light therapy devices, are you just buying a piece of technology? Or are you maybe investing in something deeper in understanding of how subtle, targeted biological signals, like light, can actually influence your body's own power to regenerate? What really stands out to you about this idea, the nuanced potential of light to sort of unlock our own biology? Something to mull over.